Hi there and welcome to this RCI tutorial video. So in this video we'll go through the steps involved with continuing the RCI after you've taken a break. Just to quickly recap, the Take a Break feature allows you to take a break from completing the RCI so you can come back to finish it off later on the same day you started it or on a completely different day. The one thing to highlight is that while you can take as many breaks as you want, from the time you start a new RCI, you have to finish it within 1 week. So, if you started the RCI on, say, a Monday, you would have to come back and have it finished by the end of the following Monday. If you started it on a Wednesday, you'd have until the end of the following Wednesday to finish it off. Also, please make sure to let your facilitator know when you take a break and let them know if you plan to come back another day to finish it off so they can arrange a time that will suit you both. Okay, so we'll now go through the steps involved with continuing the RCI. So what we're going to do now will bring me right back to where I was within the RCI before I decided to take a break. The first thing we have to do is log in. So since I'm on the main RCI website, I'll go up here to the top right and click on the login button, which will bring me to the login page. As you're probably aware, we'll be using this login area on the left of the screen here, under the user login heading. Your facilitator will type in the username for your account, and you will then type in your own password. I'll type in both of these now. Now that we have our username and password entered, I'll click on the Login Now button. So we've been logged in and we're brought to our main dashboard. On my main dashboard here, we have the account name I selected when I set up this account, Batman, and then we have the service I am within here. And I created this service just for the sake of these tutorial videos. If we move down the page to the table here called Your RCI History, this is where some information related to each RCI that you start will appear. For me, you'll see within the RCI number column here, we have number 1. This just tells me that this is the first RCI that I started within this user account. As I complete more RCIs, this table will continue to fill up. So the second RCI I complete would have number 2 here, and the third would have number 3, and so on. Moving over then to the date started column, you'll see the date here for the date that I started this RCI. In the date completed column, there is nothing because I haven't completed this RCI yet. When I do complete it, this will show me the date I finished. If I didn't complete the RCI within the 1 week time limit, this would say out of time to let me know that I basically ran out of time to finish that RCI. But again, this would only appear if I didn't complete the RCI within 1 week from the date I first started it. So moving over to the action column, we have this orange button that reads Continue to RCI. This is the button I'll use to get back into the RCI to where I left off. So this is the button we can use to continue completing the RCI. This is the same button you would see if you took a break and then logged back in to finish off the RCI. So I'll go ahead and click this button now. The first page we are presented with is the consent form. This is the same one that you would have seen when first creating your RCI user account, and also when first clicking to start a new RCI. The reason you are presented with it again is because consent is not something that you give once and that's it. Consent is an ongoing process, so the consent form is presented to you again after you've taken a break, so you can check over it and you can take as much time as you want to read through all of the statements again. And, as always, the read aloud buttons are on each statement, so you can click on these and they will read out the statements to you. For the purposes of this video, I'll scroll down to the bottom of the page where we have two buttons. If for whatever reason you didn't feel like continuing to take part at this stage, that is your right, and your decision will be fully respected. Just because you already started to complete the RCI and gave your consent for this, does not mean you have to continue taking part. You can stop taking part at any time. So, if you didn't want to continue taking part, you would click on this button on the right that reads, "No, I do not want to take part." This will bring you to a new page and provide you with some information about the RCI and give you some contact details should you want them. For the sake of this video, we'll say that we've read through all of the statements on the consent form and wish to continue to take part. So to do this, I'll click on the "Yes, I agree to participate in the RCI" button. Now, the very last page you'll see before getting to the RCI is an instructions page. So this page we're seeing is the instructions page, and it gives you a general overview of the RCI and what you'll be asked to do. This is the same instructions page you would have seen when you first started a new RCI. It's presented again just as a refresher, just in case it's been a few days since you started the RCI. You can take as much time as you like to read through these instructions. Just for the sake of this video though, I won't go through all of the instructions, and instead I'll scroll down to the bottom of the page where we have this "Continue" button. This is the button I can click on to bring me right back to where I was before taking a break. When you take a break and then get to this point, this button will bring you back to wherever you were before you took a break. The RCI area I was on when I took a break was My Community. So when I click this button, you'll see I'm brought back to this area. So I'm now back on the My Community area, where I can start clicking on these buttons to continue giving my answers to the RCI statements. Remember, you can take as many breaks as you like, but you have to complete the RCI within 1 week from the time you first started it, and that's not from the time you log back in to continue completing it. So, for example, if I had started this RCI on a Monday, and I'm now logging back in 3 days later on a Thursday, I would have to finish this RCI by next Monday, because I first started this RCI last Monday. And that's it for this video. As always, hopefully this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions or queries, please ask one of your local RCI facilitators, who will do their best to get an answer for you.